Hola, ¿cómo estás? Espero que estés muy bien. If you don't already know who I am, I'm Nate. I'm a Spanish teacher, and today I'm going to be taking a Spanish placement test. Now, if you're not familiar with the CEFR system, basically this is called the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, basically telling you what your level is in a certain language. So they go all the way from A1 to C1, A1 being beginner, C1 being advanced. So today I'm going to be taking a test on this website, Cervantes. It's like a Spanish academy. So we'll see how I do. Let's jump in. I'll put a link in the video description so you can test it as well. Yeah, let's do it. So we're starting at A1. This is the easiest level. Salgo es la 1:30. For time in Spanish, you'll say son for every number except for one. Es la una because la una is singular. De primero, gazpacho. This one can be a little tricky. A mis amigas les gustan, right? Because les is referring to las amigas, and las compras is doing the action of pleasing, which is why we gustan. No me gusta nada la ópera, tampoco. Los hijos de mi tío son mis primos. Nietos, that would be grandchildren. Hermanos would be brothers. Primos is cousins. ¿Qué significa sobrina? What does sobrina mean? Leave me a comment. I is great. It means there is or there are. When we're asking a question, hay una farmacia por aquí cerca. I is saying, is there? Is there a pharmacy nearby? Voy a cerrar la ventana porque tengo frío. Calor would be I'm hot, and then sed would be I'm thirsty. Ayer fui a la playa con mis compañeros de clase. This looks good. Uh-oh. Moment of truth. 10 out of 10. Oh. This is nerve-wracking.
Yes, sir!
¿Ha venido algún estudiante? Dígame, hola, soy Juan. Ayer Andrés no trajo sus libros. Yeah, this is a weird one. Traer, meaning to bring. In the past tense, the preterite in that third person singular would be trajo. And this is weird too. Traje means I brought, but traje is also like a suit. There's actually a funny joke, and it's usted no nada nada, no traje. Like, you don't swim at all? I didn't bring a suit. Kind of funny. Ayer no te vi en clase. Estaba muy cansado y no fui. Antes, Ana y yo íbamos. Okay. Also, notice the accent on the little I at the beginning. Íbamos, not íbamos. Sí. Celo. This is weird. So when you have two object pronouns, so this is an indirect object pronoun, and then this is going to be our direct object in the sentence, or it's going to become a direct object pronoun. Se, now, le went from le to se, because you can't say lelo. It's just, it doesn't flow as nicely as celo. So le becomes se, and then lo representing el bolígrafo. So the reason we use object pronouns is to shorten up our sentences. Fumes, aquí está prohibido. So no fumes is a negative command, okay? So I'm telling you, hey, don't do this. No fumes, okay? That ending switches. ¿Es esta la ciudad de María y Ana? Sí, esta es su ciudad. You might think, oh, this would be sus because we're talking about María y Ana. But su, because ciudad is singular, even though we're talking about their. El otro día se me rompió el coche y tuve que volver a casa a pie. Okay, this is a kind of weird one. There por, you might think, but a pie, that's just on foot, basically. ¿Y tú cuándo volviste a Colombia? Hace 3 años. So 3 years ago, basically. When we use hace to talk about a past time thing, it's going to be 3 years ago. Doesn't translate nicely into English, but that's what it means. We're still on A2. I'm still a little scared, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, looks good. Let's test. Oh, okay. Oh, man, every time I hit that button, I'm like,
Wow! Okay.
hey, if you want to speak Spanish just like me, go to SpanishWithNate.com. ¿Sabes en qué trabaja María? Ciora? Está. Yeah, this is even just the first question, I'm like, oh, it's a little more difficult. Pero ya sabes que era. It's so weird, this idea of like, sí, ahora está, because we're saying like now, currently, she's a waitress, but she might not be. Even though we normally talk about professions in Spanish using ser versus estar. Ser is permanent, estar is temporary, and era is permanent, coming from ser, but it's in the past. It's very weird, very confusing. ¿Conoces a ese chico? Pues ahora no me acuerdo de él. I don't remember him. ¿Qué hora es? Pues no sé. Ah, this is a good one. Instead of son, while son makes sense, no sé, son las 10, serán is the future tense. So you might translate this as it will be 10. But actually, serán can also be used to kind of express doubt in the future. To say like, I don't know, it might be 10, like it's probably 10 or so. So that's expressing doubt. Este ejercicio está mal. Estábamos viendo, because that was ongoing action. We were continually watching the movie en la tele y de repente se fue la luz. So this right here, de repente, is a trigger phrase. This says to us, boom, it like happens instantly. It's a one-time thing. So we're gonna use the preterite, se fue. So it went, it's done. La farmacia está cerrada por vacaciones. Si tuviera 10 años menos, daría la vuelta al mundo. Me molesta que la gente grite en el restaurante. So here, once again, we're seeing a lot of the subjunctive mood in this little quiz. So, me molesta. Okay, this is like an opinion or a feeling of mine. Therefore, that tells me, right, I'm going to be using the subjunctive mood. Cuando sea mayor. Same thing, when I am older. But we're using the subjunctive mood because the subjunctive expresses doubt. It's not guaranteed that I'm going to be older, which sounds kind of morbid, but that's the idea here, is that when I'm older, even though I might not be older, I'll travel around the world, is basically what that's saying. ¿Sabes algo de Ángel? Pues mira. So, acabo de is like, I just saw him in the street. And then dejar de would be like to stop doing something. I'm scared, test now. Oh my God. Even though I feel confident, I'm like, ugh.
Veremos qué sucede. Estoy un poco nervioso.
María quería, pero no encontró ninguno. So we're seeing two of the past tense, the imperfect and the preterite. The reason we use the imperfect at the beginning is because this is an ongoing thing. We don't have a thing that's telling us, oh, right, that desire of her wanting to buy a new dress. So we use quería because there's nothing telling us, right, that ended. But then it does tell us that it ended when it says pero, right, but she didn't find one and therefore she had to, right, it happened. She didn't have to continually, she had to take an old one. Imperfect is ongoing in the past, whereas preterite is a one-time action in the past. Ana y José. This is gonna be levantaos. This is a command. This is the vosotros. I don't use vosotros. Qué raro, hoy no ha venido Juan. Habrá ido al médico. It's funny because you can tell that this is a more like castellano, like a more Spaniard. Like a lot of the things I wouldn't say like this. La mayoría de los estudiantes. This is going to be aprobó. The reason you think, oh, but we're talking about los estudiantes. But you have this little technicality. La mayoría. Technically, it's singular, right? La mayoría. It's honestly silly. I think that's really silly. Lo tendré terminado para el viernes, digo. El concierto. Okay, this is going to be será. Estar is used for location. And yes, that's true. But there is this weird technicality where when you have an event, which in this case, we're talking about el concierto, we're going to use ser. Me gustó mucho que... Okay, this is a great one. Estuviera. This is the past tense because we're saying me gustó, so we know we're talking in the past. But we're using estuviera because me gustó is a feeling of mine. So we'll use estuviera. Si hubieras, okay, si hubieras venido a la fiesta. So if you would have come to the party, you would have met my brother. Por muy lejos que viva. I don't know, man. This is weird. The subjunctive, honestly, this one's like really tough. I don't even know how to describe that. Por muy lejos que viva, siempre llega a tiempo. Basically, I think you're using viva because it's saying like, while he may live far, which is kind of this idea of the subjunctive, he always arrives on time. Sometimes like the subjunctive can take on this idea of like may. Like, while he may live far, while they may, whatever, no ganas el dinero para comprarse un piso. Así que is a great phrase. Así que means so. Oh, God, okay. Okay, all right, we got 11 out of 11, but I'm still scared. Just do it! All right, we've made it to the final level. Es un chico muy abierto. We're using ser because this is a trait of his. He's very open. This is going to be han. Se me han perdido las llaves. This is this weird like object pronoun thing going on again. In the same way we might say something like, oh, se me olvidó. Like, I forgot. No creo que lo hubiera hecho. No creo que would be like, there's doubt. I don't believe. There's doubt. If I had said, creo que, then I could have just said, creo que lo hizo. Creo que lo había hecho. Basically. La mujer que vimos ayer es la mujer de Juan. So the woman that we saw yesterday. You might think quién, like who, but que would be the correct answer there. Sentí que alguien, oof, this is hard. I'm actually not sure about this one. So my instinct is llamara because I'm saying I felt, but I'm gonna put llamaba. I'm not sure about that one.
What I do?
Just go to the office.
What I do?
Viene porque lo obligan y no porque quiera. So you're seeing like a lot of like subjunctive here. And I think that's something that us English speakers struggle a lot with in Spanish. Okay, so this is gonna be hubiera ido. So like, I wish I had gone to the concert, but I was sick. Me di cuenta de que había olvidado las llaves, nada más llegar a la oficina. Date prisa que los invitados están a punto de llegar. So, hurry up because the guests are about to arrive. No, este piso es pequeño, frío y además... Yes! Oh, God. All right, we did it. So, like, there were some of them that were pretty difficult, but that one, sentí que alguien llamaba versus llamara, I was a little unsure because sentí is like this thing of like, I feel, it's like my own personal thing. So I thought it could be subjunctive, but... So there you go. You're gonna have to take this test yourself and let me know. You should comment down below what you got on the test. But anyways, if you have any Spanish questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment on this video asking me. You can also go to my website, SpanishNate.com. You can sign up. I have a free Spanish course on there teaching you kind of the most important things you need to know when learning Spanish. Muchas gracias por ver esta lección, este video. Espero que te haya gustado. Si es así, por favor, dale like al video y también suscríbete ya para que veas más videos chidos así como este. I'll see you in the next video. Adiós.